campodemexico.com con el apoyo de Angus el Saus, Rancho el Niño, Dorelli Brangus and Braford, Angus el Camaleón, Gles Beef Master, Agropecuaria El Refugio, Cimental y Bradford llevan hasta ti este programa.
Blanco, puro. Tequila Los Dos Carnales presenta.
Mire usted qué enorme gusto poder estar en Alberta, Canadá, estar en esta casa de Angus tan importante, Belvin Angus, con sus animales, con sus vacas que en octubre estarán dando ya animalitos de altísima calidad. En estas praderas que empiezan a generar alimento, es el momento en que las están sembrando para luego levantarlas en septiembre. Desde aquí es un gusto poderles saludar y darle la bienvenida a Campo de México. Soy Jaime Muñoz Poli, ahora en Canadá. Gracias.
Lo mejor del trabajo de los productores del Campo de México.
A una hora de la ciudad de Calgary, Alberta, llegamos a Innisfail, Canadá, el lugar donde se encuentra Belvin Angus, una de las ganaderías de esta raza más importantes de la nación norteamericana. Llegamos y lo primero que vemos es una construcción de tamaño grande, donde se encuentra, por un lado, la zona de comida o donde dan de comer durante las subastas a sus invitados. Por otra parte, el salón de subastas y en la parte superior las oficinas de Belvin Angus. Ahí, lo primero que nos muestra Colton es a su toro Velázquez. Vamos para allá.
And so that's Velázquez is the bull. And so we've sent semen from Velázquez to Mexico and Argentina and Australia, a lot of different places.
Estoy explicando que el cuadro quien lo hizo es una clienta de ellos, en el cuadro representa a Velázquez el toro, y del toro se ha tomado muestras de semen que se han ido a Argentina y a México para reproducción de allá, y también hizo el cuadro o la representación de la vaca, que también, what's the name of the cow again, sorry?
Landria.
Landria, que también ha enviado tomas para Argentina.
And so she is here, actually, and she's in Canada, and actually this calf lives in Mexico now at Pedro's Ranch. Yeah.
Bueno, a mí es un enorme gusto saludar a Colton Hamilton aquí en su rancho, en Alberta. Estamos a una hora de distancia de Calgary. Un gustazo poderlo saludar. Su familia pues cría Angus desde los años 70. Tu mamá, your mother is 2 times president of the Angus in Canada?
Yeah, she's been the president of the Canadian Angus Association. She was also the chairman of the Alberta Beef Producers, it's called. She was involved with the Canadian Cattlemen Association, a lot of different organizations. So for over 30 years, she's been involved with a lot of different groups. Right now, she's a director on the board of directors for the Olds College. That's an agricultural college near here. So in 2022, she was inducted into the Canadian Agriculture Hall of Fame for the contribution she's made to the industry in Canada over the last 30 years.
El trabajo de estar criando a los Angus.
So you'd say like your main job here is raising the cattle of the Angus cattle. That's
Yep. So our operation is a family. My parents started raising cattle, Angus cattle, when they got married. That's almost 50 years ago. And so the operation now is my parents, myself, my sister's husband, and my niece, sobrina.
Colton is similar like in Mexico. The families works here in the farmers,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. In Canada, most of the people that have an operation, they live on the operation and they're doing the day-to-day work. Like it's, there's still a lot of family operations where the people are living here and doing the work. And so this year we will be breeding about 500 females with our purebred cattle, and then with some commercial cows that we put embryos in. We put in embryos at a couple of other ranches that are like partners of ours. So it'll be about 500 females we'll breed this year with all of our cattle.
You sell the animals or embryos or both?
Both. So our main focus is selling bulls. So in this year we'll sell about 150 purebred bulls. We have a sale in March where we sold 120, and then we'll have another group that we sell just privately, not through the sale. So this year there'll be about 150 bulls we'll sell. In October, we'll have a female sale where we'll sell purebred bred heifers, just a group of about 40. And then we sell a lot of embryos and semen, but most of our bulls, of 150 bulls, probably 90% go to large commercial ranches that run, maybe 500 cows or 1,000 cows or 2,000 cows. So most of our bulls go to really large commercial ranches across Alberta, British Columbia, and Saskatchewan. Like all of Western Canada is where most of our bulls sell.
So within this region, one of the specifics that your family is engaged in is to better the quality of the beef. And how do you do that?
So we, the way we kind of view it, we, as a purebred operation, we're trying to take all of the information that we can to find the best genetics to improve the quality of our cattle, and then the ranchers that are buying the cattle from us, that will help them improve their operation. So what we're trying to focus on, is, and a lot of what our ranchers, our customers are looking for is cattle that are born easy, like good calving ease. There's a lot of, heifers getting bred to our bulls. Still really good performance, cattle that grow really quickly. And then a lot of our customers, they're, starting to care, they would like to see good carcass quality and, kind of starting right from when the calf is born right till when the calf is harvested, trying to have strength the whole way through the process is kind of what we're trying to do for our customers. And a lot of the large ranchers that are buying bulls from us, they're really trying to find cows that are lower maintenance, so cows that take less feed to produce more. So we're focusing on cattle maybe a little bit smaller, but still, way heavy, but just take less feed to kind of stay fleshy and stay in nice shape. Even in our operation, we save we have some pastures where we don't graze at all during the summer. We save all the grass, and then we wean most of our calves in September, and then all of the cows go back to graze again from September till the middle of December when they're ready to start calving. So we try and have as many days as possible not having to feed, which in Canada is difficult with our climate.
Dice que tratan de tener la mayor parte del tiempo que la vaca sea autosuficiente, ¿no? Que hacen mucha guarda de no cortar el pasto y dejarla, sobre todo por las temporadas de septiembre hasta diciembre, donde la vaca sola en sí puede subsistir sin tener que estarle dando ese alimento, ¿no?
Colton, which is the secret? You work in 5 months that we make in 12.
Oh, no, it's,
I
don't know. It's still, it still is, there's a lot of challenges with, the climate in Canada to try and, get these cattle, This past weekend, I was delivering some bulls to a ranch in British Columbia, and I was helping them brand their calves. So that ranch is a really high elevation, and in the summertime, their cattle go out onto a big range, which it's like it's government-owned land, basically out on a mountain. And the range where their cows go is 500,000 acres, so 200,000 hectares, and very hard, steep terrain. And so another thing that's really important is like the good feet and legs so that the cattle can travel, because their bulls will go out on the range. So their bulls are out in 200,000 hectare area, so they have to be really athletic and able to move and to travel well.
Colton, ¿cómo empezó la ganadería de tu familia?
My parents started raising Angus about 50 years ago almost when they were married. But my family has been here for a lot longer. So where I live was the original piece of land that my great-grandfather homesteaded when he came from Scotland, and that was in 1892. So 132 years ago was where since my family has been there.
132 años se formó, su abuelo era escocés y llegó, inmigró aquí hace 132 años y tuvo la misma tierra.
The first Angus coming from Scotland.
Yeah, so like we didn't bring Angus, my family didn't bring Angus at that point. My great-grandfather and my grandfather on the paternal side, my dad's side, they raised Shorthorns. And so if we go this way, we'll see Shorthorn. So we'll see right here, those two banners are from the Shorthorn International Show in 1955. My grandfather was the premier breeder and premier exhibitor. That was in 1955. So
1955.
Su abuelo.
Even similar than my age.
Yeah. And so my father grew up raising Shorthorns, and actually my mother grew up on a ranch just outside of Calgary, very close to the Calgary airport now, and they raised horned Herefords. So they took Shorthorn and horned Hereford, and when they were married, they didn't really want to raise either of those breeds, and so my father had worked with a lot of different breeds. He did a lot of showing cattle for people and clipping cattle for people. So the breed, and he was working for his uncle who was raising Angus, and so they kind of decided when they started on their own to start in with Angus, and that was, at that point in time, the Angus breed wasn't popular like it was today. Like there was a lot of years where the Angus weren't, the prevalent breed. It was Herefords or it was Simmental or something. But Angus, over the time, over the span of the time they've raised cattle, Angus have gotten to where they are now, and I've been fortunate for that. When I started to work with the operation, the Angus breed was so popular, and it's just been growing our operation from then.
Dice que la operación empezó con el sueño de sus padres, su padre y su madre, los dos, en vez de tomar la operación que tenían, donde habían estado, era el parte de fusionar el Angus y empezar a trabajar con él. Y él ha sido muy afortunado en poder heredar eso, ¿no? Pero eso viene de sus papás.
Sí, it's incredible. It's a lot of time.
So this year at our bull sale, there was about 300. This year at our bull sale, there was about 300 people here. So before the sale, we have like a prime rib dinner here. Really,
Antes de la venta tienen como una cena en donde se les sirve prime rib, pero había más de 300 personas para la venta de.
Yeah, and so our philosophy is always that. If you're selling good quality cattle, you need to have good quality beef. So we have a meal that's, I think, one of the best meals you'll find anywhere for a bull sale.
In what time you say, in March?
Yeah, March.
Cuadra el delirio, ganadores de carreras en México y Estados Unidos, cría de caballos de carreras, venta de potrillos y yeguas, semen de campeones. Cuadra el delirio, esperamos tu llamada. ...25 años criando ganado Beef Master de registro. Gles te ofrece toretes, vaquillas y genética, embriones y semen de gran calidad. Envíos a todo el país. Gles Beef Master, comunícate.
Bajamos y ahora entramos de lleno al salón de subastas. ¿Me acompaña? How many animals you say?
This year in the March sale, there was 120 bulls and then a group of 12 heifers. And then we'll sell some more bulls just privately, not through the auction, to some other ranchers. And then the female sale will be in October, just heifers.
Colton, is the most one is in March and the other one is in October, but that's the way that the ranch lives? The most important way to live?
So the March the March sale is our main source of income for the year. So we also grow crops and some cash crops, but our whole year and our whole decisions made last year, this year, everything is geared towards the March bull sale. That's the most important.
You sell that grain too?
So we also raise some barley and wheat and canola as cash crops.
Para que eso es lo que hacen mucho, la cebada, la canola.
Yeah. So it's kind of just for our operation, we want to make sure we have enough silage and feed for the bulls and the cattle, and then we need a lot of straw here in Canada. So the grain portion kind of fits well with the cattle, especially in this part of Alberta.
Are your fields already with the canola or the barley?
So we're in the process of that right now, everything is finished. There's about 350 hectares of canola that we need to finish. So,
Está en el proceso, dice que son más de 350 hectáreas que están en el proceso para la canola ahorita.
so if it stops raining today, that will be this afternoon's job.
Si para un poco la lluvia, eso es lo que vamos a estar haciendo por la tarde.
Colton, ¿y cuándo cosechas? ¿Cuándo cosechas este grano?
When do you harvest?
Usually September would be depending on how the summer goes, from the end of August, sometimes through, usually September, sometimes October. If we have bad weather, sometimes November.
It's only one per year?
Yeah, one crop per year. So some of our silage crop will seed like a ryegrass, like a grazing blend. So we'll take the silage off in August, and then if we have some rain, then there'll be good grazing for cattle to eat later on into the fall.
Interesante, porque dice que en agosto o a finales de agosto, si la planicie cortan y dejan un poco para que el ganado llegue y coma eso, y entonces ayuda con esa producción también de alimentarlo y te limpió la tierra, ¿no?
And the part of Alberta that our operation is in, we are generally, it's been quite dry in Western Canada the last few years, but where we live here, we're usually quite fortunate. It's quite one of the areas that has a bit more rain. Like the proximity to the Rocky Mountains, like a lot of storms kind of come off the mountains, and so we generally do have good rain here. There's no irrigation here. There's no water for.
There is no problem now with the water?
Right now it's been dry the last few years, but still, we've been fortunate. We're in a better situation than a lot of people. We don't have any irrigation. Everything is relying on just rain. So, but quite often in this area, that still is something that we're lucky to get.
I don't hear nothing about the corn.
There's starting to be corn growing in this part of Alberta. Just the season here is very short. It takes so long to get the ground warm enough, and then there's a potential for frost really early. But a lot of the corn varieties are getting there's some varieties that have a shorter growing season, and so there's getting to be a lot of people are growing corn around here for silage. We haven't attempted to do that yet with our operation, but it's definitely something that is starting to become a lot more prevalent here now. Yes. So when we have the auction sale. We don't run the bulls into the ring. We have a video sale, so there's two screens there that come down from those projectors, so it's just a video sale just because it's cold in March and it's hard to get people to sort the cattle, and it just, for a labor shortage, it's hard to get cattle in, so we just do video sale.
You don't bring the bull here?
No, they don't come. The bulls are all outside, right outside this building, but they don't come in for the auction.
You can go walk to see the bulls?
Yep, the people go through the bulls, and then when the sale's on, we just, for a lack of manpower. And so the two heads that are above the auction there, the one on the left, Velasquez, the bull that we saw in the painting.
There is Velasquez?
Yep, and the other bull is Panic Switch. And Panic Switch is a bull we raised that we sold a lot of semen around the world on him as well. So those two bulls kind of have a special spot watching over every auction.
Why Angus? Why Angus? Why not Hereford or another one?
Because they're the best.
It's simple, right?
Yeah. For us, like I mentioned before, my father had worked with a lot of breeds of cattle, and my father's uncle was raising Angus, and he just kind of liked the breed. And then, as the breed has evolved, just for a combination of the maternal strength, so good mothers, good udder, calve easy, just a really, like we were talking, a low input cow, a cow that is easy to manage, but then still they grow good, they have good carcass quality, just Angus, I'm obviously biased, but Angus is the breed that combines more good traits than any other breed, I think. And every operation is different. Some people still prefer to have a bigger framed cow, but I think on the whole, the breed has probably become a little bit more moderate in their frame.
Okay. Son más moderados ahora.
Han sido un poco más moderados, y la evolución, ¿no? Porque ahora quieres un poco que esté un poco menos alto, pero que el animal de complexión siga igual.
Now they have more meat, more quality meat than before, right?
Yeah, like Angus has always been a strong breed for carcass quality, really good marbling, but I think, with we ultrasound all of our cattle. We take a lot of data. we enhance the EPDs with their DNA. So like I think there's always been a lot of good quality beef as far as Angus cattle go, but it's just making it more consistent and kind of better across the board, but still having cattle that are functional for out in the real world. So in preparation for the bull sale, there's a certain number, a lot of jobs they have to do, and so we have this indoors and insulated so that we can work, no matter what the weather conditions are. So whether it's semen testing, freeze branding, ultrasounding, clipping for the pictures, the jobs that we have to do in preparation for the sale, we can do them regardless of weather, which is always...
Es muy importante tener el centro, que sobre todo es adentro de, para que cualquier tipo, ellos siempre están trabajando, no importa las condiciones en las climáticas que estén afuera, y aquí sobre todo se produce, se recolecta, puede ser la recolecta de semen, se pone para que el animal se pueda ver, o sea, muchos de los trabajos se vienen y se hacen aquí.
The bulls all get a freeze brand, so like a brand, it's not a hot brand, it's it's a freeze brand, so the hair grows back white. So our brand is
This is the fierro.
Yeah,
the brand?
yeah. Our cold brand, and so it's just a B is our brand. So it's a freeze brand and comes in white on their shoulder.
No es a base de calor, es a base de frío. Entonces, para que cuando hagan de nitrógeno, el pelo vuelve a ser y se hace blanco del animal. O sea, no queman ya el animal.
Yeah, and then we also brand the numbers on as well, so all of the cattle have.
And all the association in Canada accept this.
So they also have a tattoo in their ear, so all the associations require the tattoo, and then this is just management on our, for our operation.
Dorelli, la casa de campeones Brangus y Bradford. Sementales como estos criados en pradera. También disponibles vaquillas y semen. Dorelli Agropecuaria, siempre con el gusto de atenderte.
Soy tu amigo Jaime Muñoz Polit y te invito a ver el programa Campo de México todos los martes, jueves y sábados a las 7:30 de la tarde por Televisión Alteña, en el canal 17 y 151 en alta definición.
Tequila Los Dos Carnales, con agave cultivado con esmero en los altos de Jalisco, piñas realmente maduras y mieles 100% de agave. Disfrútalo entre carnales. Blanco, puro. Tequila Los Dos Carnales.
Mi Rancho Boer de México te ofrece sementales y cabras Boer para que inicies o mejores tu ganadería. Te atendemos con gusto.
In our operation, we have 3 ranches. My sister and my brother-in-law live at one. That was the original farm that my parents bought when they got married, so almost 50 years ago.
So you have 3 of them.
Yeah, so we have three ranches. So half of the cows calve at their ranch. I live further east at the place where my great-grandfather homesteaded. Half of the cows calve at my ranch. And then we call this our bull farm. So this is where my parents live. So we built this facility in 2017. So my parents live here. And then we built this. So this is just for the bulls. So there's about 10 hectares down there where they go out and they're grazing. We're feeding them silage, but they're also grazing. And then the beginning of December, we sort them into these pens, and that's where they stay through the sale and until they get delivered to their new owners.
How many people works here?
Just our family. So just at the moment, my dad, my mom, me, my sister, and my brother-in-law, and Jimena at the moment.
And Jimena, I'm gonna speak with Jimena in a few moments.
So we're right now we're just about finished delivering all the bulls from the March sale. Most of the bulls have been delivered. I think there's about 35 left. We're still in the process of delivering them. So.
De la venta de marzo hay como 30 de los toros que todavía tienen que llevar a su destino final. Pero aquí es el rancho de los toros.
So the bulls that are left, they're going to some of our best customers. There's one ranch, 15 of these bulls are going to them. There's another ranch, they've been buying bulls from us for 35 years almost. So some of the bulls will go to them. So
Colton, which is the price approximadamente? Which is the price of one bull?
So this year of the 120 bulls that were in the sale, the average price was $10,600.
10,600 fue como la cifra media.
Canadian dollars?
Canadian dollars, yeah.
Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
Pues,
So the highest price was 25,000 Canadian, so it was very consistent. The sale from the beginning to the end, it's very steady. Like I was saying before, most of the bulls are going to big commercial ranchers, and they're really consistent group of bulls, and that's what the people are wanting is it's not so much how good is the best one, it's how good is the last one.
Yes. Colton, how do you see the future of Belvin Angus?
We continued. Our operation has grown a lot in the last 5 to 10 years, and we're still quite aggressive in trying to expand our cow herd and expand. I think there's an opportunity. The beef herd in North America has shrunk, but the people that are still involved, I think there's good opportunity for a lot of profitability here in the next few years. And I know in dealing with our customers, there's a lot of people that are aggressive and they're trying to grow, and we're kind of doing the same. There's been quite a few purebred breeders, that are maybe closer to my dad's age have been selling out, and there's not a lot of people coming in. So my brother-in-law and I, we approach it with a pretty aggressive mindset of more cattle and trying to expand our operation. So.
Está diciendo que están tratando de expandir más la operación, sobre todo la operación en el ganado, en este tipo de ganado, y que sí, que ha habido algunas veces unos rancheros que pues ya se retiran y ellos están viendo muy agresivamente tomar ese mercado, ¿no? Para poderse extender, para seguirse extendiendo y creando más.
Colton, do you sell something to Mexico?
Yeah, we've sold quite a few live animals to Mexico and some embryos and semen. We've got some really good relationships with a lot of breeders and people in Mexico that have been really good friends for a lot of years. So I've been able to travel down there and attend some shows and some sales there. I judged one time in Mexico. I've worked in Mexico a few times preparing animals. We've had a really good relationship with a lot of people in Mexico. So we're fortunate for that.
And the relation with the Aberdeen Angus in Montana or Minnesota, where there are really big farmers.
Yeah, like we for our operation, our cows are very similarly bred. A lot of the cows go back multiple times to those original cows, but still on the sires we still need different bulls. A different genetics, something whether we're trying to improve one trait or another, and so. When we're looking for new genetics or something that's different, we'll travel across whether Canada, US, between my brother-in-law and myself, we'll travel. If there's a bull that we think is something that we should be looking at or investing in, we'll travel to wherever we need to find the genetics that, if there's something we're trying to improve or something we're trying to incorporate more strongly into our operation, we'll go to wherever we need to find it.
Dice que sí, que definitivamente siempre él y su cuñado están viendo cómo mejorar la raza, ¿no? Y que ellos irían, si es en Estados Unidos, en Canadá, en cualquier lugar del mundo, ellos viajarían para ver eso. Si ellos saben que ese toro o necesitan, tienen esas características o las cualidades que están buscando para mejorar.
I'll take, for example, that one ranch I was talking about, that 15 of these bulls are going to them. They're a really, big and aggressive operation. And so the way that they're looking at it is if they have 2,000 cows, these bulls are half of the genetic makeup of their calves. And so, they're willing to invest in really good genetics because they've seen the results where they have year after year, their feeder steers and their cattle are at the top of the market when they sell. They have repeat buyers buying them. The feedlots that have fed their cattle, the cattle feed really well, they grade really well. So the value that they're seeing is that their cattle are at the top of the market when they sell, and they have repeat customers trying to buy year after year. So that, for a commercial rancher, and that's, when we're dealing with people, we want people that when they sell their cattle are in high demand.
La próxima semana continuamos en Belvin Angus, en Canadá, conociendo a sus vacas. Por otra parte, también platicaremos de los viñedos en la zona de Kelowna y haremos algo de turismo en esta hermosa nación. Gracias por acompañarnos.
Por el placer de disfrutarlo entre carnales, Tequila Los Dos Carnales presentó
Campodemexico.com con el apoyo de Cuadra el Delirio Caballos de Carreras. Baragonza Beefmaster y Braford, Mi Rancho Boer de México, Buenavista Beefmaster, Genética Triple F Brangus, Bonanza Angus y Braford, presentaron este programa. Siga a Campo de México en todas sus plataformas.